everybody. So this morning I wrote you guys a morning message like I do most mornings, and I was wondering, have you guys noticed how the morning message that I write to you guys is a little bit different than the writing that you have during independent writing, right? So when I write the morning message, I always address the class. I say, "Good morning, class," and I always sign my name at the end, "Love, Miss Neal." And it's a little bit different than what you guys do. So you can structure your writing like how I have it in my morning message. And a lot of you have been writing about experiences that you've had with a specific person. I know Johnny has been writing about how he just really wants his mom to get him a puppy, which is awesome, and this is a great idea that Johnny has, and he could even take that idea in his writing and turn that into a letter from him to his mom about wanting a puppy. And today I want to teach you a little bit about how to write a letter. Good writers write letters all the time. They love writing them. It's a really good way to organize your thoughts, and you could even do a back and forth where you imagine what they write back to you, so it's awesome. So today I want to read you one of my favorite books called Dear Mr. Blueberry, and it's by Simon James, and this author uses letters to structure his story, so I want everyone to sit back and enjoy it. If you notice anything that reminds you of the morning message, I want you to put your thumb up in the air. Okay? Dear Mr. Blueberry by Simon James. Dear Mr. Blueberry, I love whales very much, and I think I saw one in my pond today. Please send me some information on whales, as I think he might be hurt. Love, Emily. Dear Emily, here are some details about whales. I don't think you'll find it was a whale you saw, because whales don't live in ponds, but in salt water. Yours sincerely, your teacher, Mr. Blueberry. She's reading the letter. Dear Mr. Blueberry, I am now putting salt into the pond every day before breakfast, and last night I saw my whale smile. I think he's feeling better. Do you think he might be lost? Love, Emily. Dear Emily, please don't put any more salt in the pond. I'm sure your parents won't be pleased. I'm afraid there can't be a whale in your pond because whales don't get lost. They always know where they are in the ocean. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. Tonight I'm very happy because I saw my whale jump up and spurt lots of water. He looked blue. Does this mean he might be a blue whale? Love, Emily. P.S. What can I feed him with? Okay, now I want everyone to take a second to turn and talk to their neighbors about what they are starting to notice in the book that reminds them of the morning message. Take a couple minutes. Dear Emily, blue whales are blue, and they eat tiny shrimp-like creatures that live in the sea. However, I must tell you that a blue whale is much too big to live in your pond. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. P.S. Perhaps it is a blue goldfish. What do you think? It's a big goldfish. Dear Mr. Blueberry, last night I read your letter to my whale. Afterward, he let me stroke his head. It was very exciting. I secretly took him some crunched-up cornflakes and breadcrumbs. This morning I looked in the pond, and they were all gone. I think I shall call him Arthur. What do you think? Love, Emily. Dear Emily, I must point out to you, quite forcibly now, that in no way could a whale live in your pond. You may not know that whales are migratory, which means they travel great distances each day. I'm so sorry to disappoint you. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. Dear Mr. Blueberry, tonight I'm a little sad. Arthur has gone. I think your letter made sense to him, and he has decided to be migratory again. Love, Emily. Dear Emily, please don't be too sad. It really was impossible for a whale to live in your pond. Perhaps when you are older you would like to sail the ocean studying and protecting whales. Yours sincerely, Mr. Blueberry. Dear Mr. Blueberry, it's been the happiest day. I went to the beach and you'll never guess, but I saw Arthur. I called to him and he smiled. I knew it was Arthur because he let me stroke his head. I gave him some of my sandwich. This is a long one, huh? And then we said goodbye. I shouted that I loved him very much, and I hope you don't mind. I said you loved him too. Love, Emily and Arthur. Little whale tail. The end. So, what are some of the things we noticed in the book? Someone raise their hand. Yes, Samantha. Exactly. So when we were reading the book, every single time, either when it was from Emily or Mr. Blueberry, it always said dear at the beginning, right? Dear Emily, comma. Dear Mr. Blueberry, comma. Every single letter, right? That's really important. That's the salutation. That's the beginning of the letter. And that's just like how I write it in our morning message. And I say, dear class or dear students. And I always open it like that. Good. What else? Patrick. Yeah. So there's also, every single time they write the body of their letter. And then at the very end they put love and then their name, right? So Emily writes love, Emily. And then dear Mr. Blueberry usually writes yours sincerely, which is a little bit more formal. Awesome. What else? Oh, yeah. So, yep, when we paused a little earlier, there was a PS. So sometimes letters have PS at the end, which is a little postmark. And that's an afterthought after you've written the body of your letter. These are all great ideas. And anybody else? Yep, so sometimes letters can be longer. So this one's a little bit shorter. There's only a couple lines. But then we did have one at the end of the book that was 2 pages, right? We had this page where she went to the beach and saw Arthur, and then she had another page. So good job. So today, during independent reading, I want everybody to think about using this strategy. If it works for you in your writing today, that's awesome. If you get stuck, you want to try a new idea, when you're in Writer's Workshop, just think about an experience. You want to write to someone, tell her about it. You could write a letter to Santa. You could write to your mom, like Johnny, and ask her for something that you want. And then you could maybe think of something that they would write back to you. So maybe Johnny wants to write what he thinks his mom's going to say about him wanting the puppy. So good job. And all the boys were really well behaved. So you guys can go and get your writing folders first. Quietly. Okay, and now once the boys have all theirs, the girls can get theirs and everyone can get to work.